without a plan, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So with that, I would like to introduce the person who's going to take us through the most important part of our planning process in our respective clubs. A veteran Toastmaster, a person who has been a Toastmaster for almost 7 years, and he has held so many positions. It's unbelievable. I don't want to go through the list, too many of them. President, Vice President Education, Vice President Membership, Treasurer, district level. He has been the President Distinguished Area Director, Club Extension Chair, Assistant Division Director, and President Distinguished Division Director, wherein he was awarded as a Division Director for the year 2021. In District 98, and also the maximum distinguished clubs at division stage. So with all this experience, he's going to share with us his pearls of wisdom in the space of drafting the most important document for us as the ExCom members. So without too much ado, let me hand over the stage to DTM Toastmaster Ankit Das Gupta.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudha, for giving such an... Thank you. Thank you for this elicited introduction. Hello, everyone. And I'm glad that you're a part of this session today. And I hope that I'll be able to give some value to help you in charting the course for your club success plan. Benjamin Franklin said, and I quote, "If you fail to plan, you plan to fail." And it's a very important aspect about any organization, that every organization needs to create a plan for their success. I always believe Toastmasters is like a corporate institution, for me at least. I look at different positions as positions which you can emulate in your corporate world. And in a similar way, a club success plan is a plan that is created by the executive committee of the Toastmasters organization, which is similar to maybe the managing committee of a corporate, wherein they plan for the success of the corporate in the same way we plan for the success of our Toastmasters club. A club success plan is a basic plan that is there for a club. And as you move ahead in terms of your leadership, there is also an area success plan, a division success plan, a district success plan. So a plan is always there to help not only the club, but also at a higher level of Toastmasters. Today, we'll be talking about the club success plan because most of you present here may be club officers. Before I move into the session, I normally always ask this in my sessions to the audience members. What is it that you're expecting? I just want to have one or two answers in terms of your expectations. That will help me in charting the course of the session in a better way. And I'll be trying to help you in terms of getting the answers as much as possible. So if anyone would like to just let me know what is that you're expecting out of this session today?
Your expertise, Ankit.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Manas.
I am very new to this system. So I would like to know how it should be drawn and how it should be followed upon. These two things.
Great. Thanks. Thank you, Gopal. Great. So a club success plan, before I start, I would just like to know how many of you over here have been executive committee members or are executive committee members. If you can just show a raise of hands. Okay. Great. I think, yeah, many of us are executive committee members or have been part of executive committee members. So you might have helped in preparing a club success plan, right? If I'm not wrong. If not, then this session will help you do that. A club success plan normally starts when the Toastmaster year starts. So a Toastmaster year starts from July of the year and it goes on to June of the next year. So when the executive committee of a club starts the new year, they always start with making the club success plan. And this time, as Toastmaster Sudha rightly said, the month of January onwards, it's very crucial for the club because you're reassessing your club success plan and the plan that you had envisioned at the start of the year, whether it is going in the right track or not. And that is where it's important to again go back to your club success plan if you have made it. If not, it is also a good time to make a new club success plan. Now the question arises, where do I find the club success plan? How do I go about making the club success plan? So for that, it's a document that is present in Toastmasters International website. So I'll just show you how you can do it. This session will be very practical so that it becomes easy for you to do it rather than me just giving knowledge. I would want you to, I would go through it so that you will understand and you all can make it on your own. So let me just share my screen and let me know if it is visible. If I can see a thumbs up, if it is visible, great. So this is the Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan document that is present on Toastmasters International website. What you can just do is just log on to toastmaster.org. There's a search button at the right-hand side. Just type there 1111, 4 times 1, because this document, if you see, is 1111. If you just type 4 times 1, you'll get the Club Success Plan document over there itself. The Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan document. So this is a document which helps us understand what is the Distinguished Club Program, which I'll be talking about, and what is the Club Success Plan. Now to talk about the Distinguished Club, this is a document of 39 pages, which consists of what are the different Distinguished Club Program goals. And also it talks about the Club Success Plan. I'll be moving on to the Club Success Plan, but before that, I want to touch on the Distinguished Club Program goals, because that is very important in Toastmasters in creating a Club Success Plan. So Distinguished Club Program is basically the goals that are required for a club to attain success. There are around 10 goals that a club needs to achieve in a year. Would anyone like to tell me how are the goals categorized into? What are the different categorization of the goals? Manda, would you like to go ahead?
It comprises of your education awards,
right?
Or level 1s to 2 level 2s, again two more level 2s. And it also comprises of your trainings as officers.
Correct.
And then membership goals are there.
Correct.
So that is the way. And renewals are also part of it. So it is for all the ExCom members. There is something there.
Correct. Thanks a lot, Manda, for answering this. So I'll just quickly go to what Manda rightly said. So this is a dashboard of Toastmasters, which gives details of how your club is performing. If you want to get this link, I'll just paste it in the chat. So that, okay, yeah, 1 second. I'll paste this in the chat so that you all can just have a look at it. In this, you will have your own club, and it will also give you your own club's DCP track in terms of how is your club doing. So if you see, there are a total of 10 goals, and it is categorized in this way. 6 goals are educational goals. 2 goals are membership goals. There is a goal on club officers training, and there is a renewals goals. I don't want to go in detail because recently we had the TLTP, wherein I'm a Toastmaster Leadership Training Program, wherein most of the executive committee members got trained. But for new people who have joined, this is how the different goals are there in Toastmasters. And all of these goals are tangible. It is something that can be achieved. So these are the 10 goals that are there. And a club success plan is basically made in order to help us achieve these goals. Now, going back to the club success plan. So this is the Distinguished Club Program goals. These are the Distinguished Club Program, and these are Distinguished Club Program goals. If your club achieves 5 of the goals, then your club becomes a Distinguished Club. If your club achieves 7 of the goals, your club becomes a Select Distinguished Club. If your club achieves 9, then your club becomes a President Distinguished Club. But the qualifying criteria, this is a very important aspect. The qualifying criteria for a club to be eligible for a Distinguished Club Program goal is that a club must have 20 members or a net growth of at least 5 new members. To help you understand this better, let me just go to one of the clubs under this. Let me go to Division B itself, and I'll take the first club that comes in. That is the Bombay Toastmasters, right? Let me just click onto that club. So you will see the performance of that club. Yeah. See, this is the performance of Bombay Toastmasters Club. If you see, the base membership was 42. And as I said, you have to have a minimum of 20 members in the club by the end of the year. So now you'll be having renewals, right? You'll be having renewals in the month of April. Till March end, you'll have to renew your membership. So your club should have at least 20 members in your club for you to be eligible for Distinguished Club Program. And if your club has a base of less than 20, let's say your club has a base of 12 or 13, then it should be +5. So 12 plus 5, that will be 17. It's something that you'll have to achieve if your club is less than 20. But if your base was 20 or more than 20, then you have to achieve minimum of 20 members in your club. So this is the base criteria that is required for you to be eligible for Distinguished Club Program goals. If you have any doubts, you can please ask me during the session itself in between. I'll not be able to see your raised hands, but you can just unmute and ask if you have any doubts, right? So this is with respect to the Distinguished Club Program goals. I hope I'm clear, because this is a base for making the club success plan. Just going back again to the Distinguished Club Program goals. These are the 6 education goals. These are the 2 membership goals. This is an officers training goals, and this is a renewals goals. Now a club success plan document consists of around 22 pages. Now this is a huge document, but if you're able to do this, if you're able to make this document in a proper way with your executive committee, plan and make the document, then it will be easier for you to achieve your goals in a tangible way. This document is normally created at the start of the year in July 2021. July of the year is when you start with the document creation. And I'll be telling how this document has to be filled in by the executive committee members and who fills in what. This document normally talks about what, how, when, what, how, who, when, as in what needs to be done, how will you do it, who will do it, and when will it get done. So that is the basic structure of this document. Each of the points that are there consist of these 4 questions. Now, out of the 22 pages, if this is something that you want to write down, you can do. The pages 1 to 6 is normally written by the president and the immediate past president. I'll just show you a glance of what pages 1 to 6 is. So 1 to 6 consists of, it tells about what is the team composition. That is, who are part of the executive committee, the core values of the club. When the president became the president of the club, he may have had a vision. So that is the core value. The core value should coincide with the Toastmasters value. Would anyone like to tell me what are the Toastmasters core values?
Integrity, respect, service, and excellence.
Great. So we call it the IRSE values. That is integrity, respect, service, and excellence. These are the core values of Toastmasters. Your club can have the same core values, or it can have a bit different. Like, I'll just show you an example of a CSP. As I go through the CSP, I'll also be showing you how a sample CSP might look like. So this is your team composition, which you'll have to fill in the names of your executive committee, including the immediate past president. And your values, along with the Toastmasters values, can be something like this: honesty, community, fun. These can be the values of your club. Next part that comes into picture is the team operating principles. Now, what is it that the principles on which your team operates on in terms of your own team, that is your executive committee team? On the sample, it's written that they provide an honest environment around in terms of the club that is present. So it can be, every club will have their own operating principles, but this is just a template in terms of what can be useful, what can be a basic template for filling this club success plan. Next, I'll just go through it quickly so that you'll understand why the president and the immediate past president fills this. Potential obstacles. So this is where the immediate past president's expertise comes into picture. He is the person who had led the club in the previous year or the previous 6 months. And he will know what are the potential obstacles that the club had faced last time and may face this time. That's the reason it's important that the immediate past president is also part of this exercise of filling this page. So there are the first 6 pages are filled by the president and the immediate past president. The meeting protocol. So meeting protocol can be something like, when would the executive committee meet? So you're putting in a time that every month, maybe once a month you'll be meeting, once in fortnight you'll be meeting. So you set a precedent that this is the time when executive committee will be meeting. And it's very important for the executive committee to meet and reassess the club success plan from time to time. because as you go ahead, you will see that it's a bit dynamic. It might change. Then team interactions and behavioral norms. These are all part of it. I'll share the club success plan template with all of you so that it becomes easy for you to understand. So yeah, there are also situational analysis that are present here, which is important for the president and the immediate past president to fill in. So what will be the mode of communication? If you're having a WhatsApp group for your executive committee, if you're having email, an email account wherein you send out emails to your club members with respect to the agenda, if you're having a WhatsApp group, if you're having an Instagram group, then these might be the modes of communication for your club. So this is what you have to fill in. And there are other important situations that are present that you'll have to fill in. How will the execute? So that is where the what, how, when, who comes into picture. How will the executive committee members support one another? So this is again a subjective question. If, for example, there might be a situation wherein an executive committee is not well, and someone, so for example, the VPPR is not well, and as you know, a VPPR is an important aspect of a club on a regular basis because he or she will have to create a poster. So do you have anyone else who can pitch in that case? So you'll have to put in how will the executive committee members help support each other. So that is where you'll have to put in different metrics in terms of how will each of them help out. Then comes the qualifying criteria with respect to, I talked about the qualifying criteria. So you will have to fill in that. How many members does your club aim to achieve by the end of the year? So that is something that is your vision. And then you'll have to work towards how will you achieve that. For that, we'll have the VP membership and other club success plan related documents that we'll be talking about. And as I've gone through, these are the education goals. So 1 to 6 pages is where the president and the immediate past president fills in. It is a bit qualitative. It can be subjective to your own club. And the immediate past president is the one who will help you in terms of analyzing and putting in the right track in terms of if you are filling it in the right way or not. And again, if you're having any difficulty with respect to your club success plan, always reach out. Reach out to your area director, reach out to your district officers if you're not able to fill in. It is not something that you are given, like you have to do it on your own. If you're not able to do it, still, you can reach out to your people. There is no shame in reaching out if you're not able to do it on your own. The district officer is always there to help you out. So always reach out to your area director if you're not able to, or if you have some doubts with respect to your club success plan. So the first 6 pages is where the president fills in. And the first 6 pages, as you saw, is more with respect to the club as a whole. What would the club want to achieve? What would be the situations wherein the executive committee is not able to do their role properly or not? So that is where the first 6 pages come in. Pages number 7 to 9, as I go ahead, is for the vice president education, because this consists of the education plan of the club. Now, this is where it becomes very important. This becomes a very focused, goal-oriented approach here. And that is why, before I go to move forward with respect to what the vice president education has to fill in, I want to show you a template that we normally follow in our club and most of the clubs follow. And that template is the DCP tracker. Let me know if you're able to see this. Great. Okay. So this is the Distinguished Club Program tracker that we follow. It is an internal tracker that we have made for to make it easy for us to track the goals. As you would have seen, that document is a very qualitative document. And to assess it on a regular basis, it might become a bit difficult. But over here, you'll be able to have tangible goals with respect to your Distinguished Club Program. And I'll quickly go through this DCP tracker, and which will help you in terms of creating tangible goals for your club. So you'll have to fill in your club details and all, that's fine. DCP target, ideally you should always aim to achieve 10. Membership base achieved, yes or no? If you're having currently more than 20 members or +5, then yes, otherwise no. Club status, paid. So a club has to have minimum of 8 members for a club to be a club in good standing. So yes, so this is where we have the different education goals and how will you achieve it. So see, 4 members, level 1 complete. This is the what. Is this achievable? Yes or no? If it is achievable, yes. Now, who will achieve it? Members who will achieve this award. This is where it becomes qualitative. It becomes more focused. Now, as a vice president education or as an executive committee members, you might be aware about who are the different people at which level they are. For example, there might be 4 people who are currently doing their icebreaker speech in your club, and you still have 6 months to go. So they just have to give more 3 speeches to complete their level 1s, right? Or someone might be at level level 1, project 2 or project 3. So that they are very close to their level 1 completion. That is where you put in their names. You put in their names for 4 members to achieve level 1s. If you put them, how it becomes easier is for the VP education is it becomes easier for them to track. For example, if you put in those 4 people's name, then the VP education knows that I'll have to give more speech slots to that person so that that person completes the goal. And even if that person himself or herself is not on track, the VP education can be behind that person, asking that person to go and give the speech so that the level 1 is complete. So this is with respect to 4 members achieving level 1. You write down the names of the 4 members, target date. When do you plan to achieve it? As in when you're making the document, obviously it's a target date because you don't know when it will achieve it, but it's always good to have a target date when you would want to achieve it. An actual date, if you have achieved it, then it's an actual date. Similarly, as you go ahead, if you see, this is how you can fill in your membership, your education goals in terms of identifying the members who will fill it. Now, if you were at the start of the year, I would have said that a member who completes level 1 may also be able to complete level 2, right? So by the end of the year. So it's always good to, if you have identified 4 members who have completed level 1, you can put some of the members for level 2 also, because it's a year duration and they'll be able to complete it. But as it is 6 months now, be very focused towards, if your club is struggling in terms of completing your education goals, be very focused who are the people who will be able to complete each of them, because you just have 6 months left to complete it. Just give an example of how our club has done it. So see, we have put in the 4 members who would be achieving level 1. We did it at the start of the year. This is the target date we had set in, that we'll be achieving this by September 25th, but we couldn't do it by that. We actually achieved it on January 9th. So this is where we put in the 4 members. We actually you can put in more. It's not like if there are 4 members you have to put in, you just put in the 4 names, because it's always good to have backups, right? What if the 4 members out of that 1 backs out? So you should have more people in your club who will be able to complete that. As a VP education, it's always important to have backups. Similarly, if you see, there are different goals to be achieved, and I've already put in who are the people who will be achieving that. So for goal number 5, it's still to be achieved. We've already put in the name of the person who will be achieving it and by when we will be achieving it. So this gives more of a tangible output towards how you can achieve the education goals. Now I'll go back to the club success plan to tell you what the club success plan says. The club success plan helps you in creating that same thing with respect to more on a qualitative basis. If you just see, describe how to help members complete level 1 and level 2 in pathways. Specifically, what action will be taken. So over there, you just put down those 4 members who will be achieving it. But over here, you have to say how you will do it. So maybe you can say that we'll have sessions on pathways. The vice president education will be giving meeting slots to those people who would want to complete the level 1s. Or maybe the VP education will help that member go and give speeches in other clubs if your club doesn't have meeting slots. So these are the different points that you put in over here with respect to how would you help your members complete the level 1s and level 2s. What are the resources available? What equipment, material, funding, or people would be used to get that action 1 completed? Then if there is any education sessions that you would like to have, who is responsible for the education session 1? Normally it is the VP education, but if the VP education is having a buddy, then the buddy, or if there's a mentorship chair, if there are mentors assigned to each of the members, those mentors can also be responsible for ensuring that their mentee completes level 1. So it's a top to bottom approach. If the VP education identifies these members, you can assign different people to help achieve that goal with respect to maybe the mentors or the mentorship chair who can help in achieving that goal. And again, the timeline. We are already put in the timeline over there. This is how you do it. So this is how you complete the education goals. As I told you, the DCP tracker is a more realistic basis, which will help you in tracking out on a regular basis, especially for the VP education, because you have to complete 6 goals. But this is where you put in by when you will complete it. After you fill in, my approach would be first fill in the tracker, especially for the VP education, fill in the tracker, fill in the date on which you'll be achieving it. And over there, after that, you put it here. So page number 7 and 8 is for the VP education. wherein he or she tells how will you be achieving the 6 goals. Any doubts still here? Okay, great. Next is the goal, switch 7 to 9 that the VP education does it. Next comes the membership goals. Now, this is a very interesting aspect because here, not only the VP membership, but also the VP PR, they work together for getting these goals. Goals number 7 and membership goals is that you add 4 members in a club, new, dual, or reinstated, and you add 4 more members. So total of 8 members that you have to add in a club for getting these 2 goals. So you have to understand how will the VP membership attain these objectives. And why I said the VP PR also comes into picture, because a very important aspect for any club to get new members will be, obviously you have your regular outflow in terms of putting it on social media and all, but there is also membership campaigns that clubs normally hold. So if your club is holding a membership campaign, the VP PR also comes into picture, because it's along with the VP PR that a VP membership can attain or hold a membership campaign, wherein the VP PR is the one who creates the posters and all the materials. The VP membership is the one who strategizes in terms of how you attain or do the membership campaign. Now, talking about a corporate club, for a corporate club, a membership campaign can be something which becomes a bit easier because you have a set audience. You know that the audience would be your employees. So you can send out regular mails through your HR, create a timeline, maybe January 20 to January end is when we'll be having a membership campaign, wherein we'll be having regular outflow of posters in terms of talking what is the benefit of Toastmasters, all these different things, and putting it on a HR mails. That is for your corporate institutions. For community club, you have to make a bit more of an effort. You'll have to be very active on social media, maybe on different social media groups, which can help you. For example, if you are a location-based club, for example, if you're located in Borivali, then you would want to go and be part of different social media groups which are specific to that location, or WhatsApp groups. A lot of societies have their own WhatsApp groups. So you can go and ask the society chairman or the society secretary if you can percolate this Toastmasters flyer into that WhatsApp group. So these are different ways in which you can have your membership campaign. If you are very much interested in understanding more about membership campaign, you can anytime reach out to area director, or you can reach out to me also. I can give some ideas how I had done during my term, or how I have experienced in terms of creating a membership campaign. So coming to the club success plan, these are the different. So what I just told you in 5 to 7 minutes is what you have to write down over here in terms of how will you achieve the goal of getting those members. That is 4 plus 4. Now in Toastmasters, in the district specifically, there are a lot of awards that the district gives in terms of if you are able to add more members. If you want to know more about it, you can reach out to your district officers. They'll be very much happy to help you, because the district now is giving a lot of awards if you get more members into your club, right? Even if you're not a VP membership, if you're a normal member of a club, even then if you get more members, then even then you'll be awarded. So as I say, if you're getting benefits, it's always good to let others also know about the benefit, let them experience it, right? So that is where you can have your membership goals of 7 and 8. Again, going back to the DCP tracker, you can put in the people who would be added to your club. So again, this is not something that you can do at the start of the year. Once you have done your membership campaign and you have that pool of people who are interested in joining the club, then you can put in that we would want these 4 people to be part of our club. And then you make or put in your efforts to make people part of your club. So that becomes more focused in terms of understanding whether you'll be able to achieve that or not. So yeah, this is in terms of the membership that we had. So in our club, we already have got 9 members. So we have added that and we've completed that goal. So document page number 7 to 9, 10 to 12 is for VP education. Going back to the document. So this is page number 10. Again, this document talks about how will the VP membership be able to achieve that goal. Whatever I talked about the membership campaign is what you have to put in. I think Priya has raised her hand. Yeah, Priya, please go ahead.
Yeah, Ankit, I just wanted to ask that this template that you have shared, the one which you use for your club, is very, very essential. I think it's a really good idea.
Right.
Would you send this kind of a template, a blank template to all of us? Maybe we may not use it as it is, but we'll
Right.
have an idea.
Sure. So what I can do is I'll share it with Monish or the district officer. And as you have already registered, then they will be already having your email addresses present. So they can send it
Yes.
over to you. So not only
Yes,
this
yes.
document, I'll also be sending the club success plan so that it becomes easy for you to just get all the documents at one place. Right?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So this is with respect to the membership that you have to fill in. So whatever I've said, this is what it consists of, like what equipments will you be using in terms of getting that those things. So you can mention about the membership campaign that you would want to hold in your club so that you will get more members. Again, as I said, if you want ideas with respect to membership campaigns, get in touch with the district officers. They're always ready to help you. You can have special sessions when the district officers can help you in getting experienced Toastmasters to come and talk about benefits of Toastmasters. And you can have you can have an open house where you can call a lot of non-Toastmasters to come and be part of that session. So this is with respect to the membership goals. That is page number 10 to 12 is what a VP membership along with the VP PR has to fill. Now coming to page number 13. Now this is a training goal. Now most of the clubs would have already achieved this goal. The training goal is that at least 4 members, a minimum of 4 club officers should be trained during each of the 2 training periods. So the TLTP training process is already over for our divisions, for divisions B specifically, and for the divisions in Mumbai around. So if you would have not achieved this goal, I'm sure your area director would already be in touch with you in terms of getting this goal completed. This is where the secretary helps in terms of filling this aspect. So pages 13 to 15 is where the secretary fills in. And if you've already completed your TLTP, this is a good time for the secretary to fill in these details. So this basically, so I'll just show you in terms of the tracker how this is. So in terms of tracker, over here, you have to see how many of your executive committee members actually completed the training. So you can put in, there are 7 executive committee members. If everyone does it, it is 7 out of 7. So you'll have to put in by when they will be achieving it. So as I told you, our club has already achieved and most of the clubs would have already achieved it. If you have not, then please get in touch with your VP with your area director, because this is a very important aspect that the club officers should be trained. Only if they are trained, they'll be able to help the club. So for trainings, again, it comes out again a situational analysis. The questions are very similar, but the secretary will be able to answer this now well because the club has already achieved it. What is the current training situation in terms of how? So if you're doing it at the start of the year, you'll have to put in the club officers have to get trained by when. If the TLTP dates have come out, you can put in by when. But if you're doing it now, then you can put in that the club officers would have already been trained and when did they get trained. What are the club's current obstacles in achieving the training goals? If there are any, what are the obstacles in terms of what do you feel? Why are the executive committee not able to achieve? For some of the clubs, struggling clubs or clubs which are not meeting on a regular basis, the obstacles can be that the executive committee member itself is not active. Normally, sometimes it happens to the corporate clubs, as we are having, and specifically even for community because of the situation that you're having wherein people are getting sick and all. So there may be obstacles with that. So you will have to maybe create a tangible timeline. How will you be able to go over the obstacles? As I told you, get in touch with the area directors to get your executive committee trained. This is with respect.
Ankit,
yeah.
Actually, we haven't been trained for the roles like the our TLTP session is on like 23, 22. So how we are supposed to fill this plan?
All right. So are you from the Hyderabad cluster?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I know. So Hyderabad, it's having on 23rd that day. So for you, for now, what you have to do is that you'll have to wait for the. Okay, let me just take it in a situation wherein it's the start of the year. The TLTPs have not yet happened, right? And this is where you would want to get the TLTP done for an executive committee. So when you're having a first executive committee meeting, before when you start your term, or as you would have started your term in a 6 months term now, have a discussion in terms of whether all your executive committee members will be attending on that date, as the date is already fixed. So will they be attending? Yes. Then it becomes easy for you that there might not be an obstacle in terms of them attending the training. So you can fill in that. Are there any current obstacles in achieving the training goals? You can say no. But if there are any current obstacles, for example, as I told, if someone might be sick or something, that is where you will have to make in a plan that is there a backup in terms of ask your area director, what if my executive committee member is not able to achieve or not take part in the training? Will there be a top up? Sometimes district officers also have a top up. Or if that is not the case, most of the times it happens the area director himself or herself comes to the club and conducts the training specifically for the executive committee members if they were not able to attend the training, right? So these are the different kinds of solutions if you're having obstacles. But rest assured, the district is always there to help you out. So if you're having these kind of obstacles, the district will help you. The reason, okay, let me come to this. The reason that we make the club success plan is not only for the club to be able to achieve it, but also gives a picture to the district in terms of how the club is performing and where is that the district can help the club. So I'm sure your area directors will be coming to your club for area visits, right? So it's mandated that area director should go through the club success plan. But even as a club executive committee member, try to talk with your area director, have maybe a 20 or 30-minute session after the meeting in which the area director comes, so that you all can sit with the area director and go through a club success plan, wherein the area director can also suggest solutions if you're facing any obstacles. So that is another way in which your club success plan can help your club. If you're not able to do it, or if you're having any issues or challenges, your area director is the one who will be helping you. So always have your club success plan ready when you're having the area visits done in your club. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, this is with respect to training. That is goal number 9. And now coming to the final goal of DCP, that is the last goal. And the last goal is with respect to renewals. So 1 second, let's take this down. Yeah. So this is the administration goals, which says that a club must submit new officer list on time before June 30th. So if it was for the start of the year, it was June 30th. Or if the executive committee gets changed every 6 months, then it should get done before January. Like there might be a deadline. So before that, you'll have to have your club executive committee list updated. So this is normally updated by the secretary. So it's only the secretary and the president who can change or edit the executive committee list, right? So keep this in mind. Although secretary, they say that secretary just does the agenda and everything, but this is a very important role of a secretary. Other than the secretary, no one, other than the secretary and president, no one will be able to edit the executive committee list on TI website. So ensure that if your executive committee is changing, you update it on Toastmaster International website well in time so that you can get this goal. And the last goal in the administration goal itself, it consists of 2 goals. So the last part is that you have to have a minimum of 8 members in September and April. So this is the renewals goals. And this is where the VP membership and the treasurer will come into picture. So the last part of the club success plan is normally filled by the treasurer, because it talks about the club finances, or it talks about the renewals, because the treasurer is the one who pays the renewal dues. Also, although it is the executive committee members and the VP membership who helps in the renewals. So the last part, that is pages number 16 to 18, are to be filled mostly by the treasurer, but it can also be filled by the VP membership and the treasurer together. So I'll come to page number 16. This is the administration goal. What are the club's current obstacles in achieving the administration goals? So this is a very important aspect of the club. Why I'm telling you is because the renewals are now coming up, and the renewals are the most important aspect, I feel, especially the April renewals. Because as I told you at the start, if the club doesn't meet the qualifying criteria of 20 members, then the club might not get distinguished. Even though you have all your 10 goals completed, if you're not meeting the 20 members criteria or the +5 criteria, the club will not get distinguished. So please ensure, although the distinguished club program goal says that 8 members should get renewed, the minimum criteria is that 20 members or an addition of 5 members. So if your club is struggling on that, as an executive committee, start working in terms of renewals. Some ideas that I can give you in terms of how you can make better renewals is reach out to your current members. Understand if there are people who are not attending meetings, those are red flags. Those are the people who might not renew. So go back to those members, ask them, ask them for feedback. What is it that is making them not attend meetings? If they say that there's a quality issue, talk with the Execom in terms of making the quality better. So these are the different ways in which you can have your renewals set in place. I would suggest you can start your renewals campaign by February itself, February or mid-February, so that you have at least a month and a half time to get it done. Normally, I've seen that many of the clubs started by March or mid-March. So you just have, as you know, you have to complete your renewals by 31st of March. So you just have 15 days in completing the renewals. And that is where you come to know that many of the members are not renewing. And then the club is in a soup. It's always better to start beforehand itself. Maybe by first week of Feb or mid-Feb, start your membership renewals campaign, wherein you start telling members to renew, put in the details of where it has to be paid to the treasurer's account or however the club has it, and go about it. So that the earlier you do it, the better prepared you are in case of emergencies if it happens. So this is where you have to put in whatever I told you now is what you have to put in over here if there are any situations which comes in with respect to renewals. All right. So this is where you have to fill in with respect to the renewals and putting the club offices list on time. And this is where your treasurer will help you out, because the treasurer's details will have to put in and treasurers will have to work in terms of making the renewals done. Okay. So yeah. And once page number 16 to 18 is done, the last few pages are, the last page that the 19th page is wherein you sign and you put in the date, because this is a formal document and it goes to the district, as in you will have to share it with the area director, and it goes to Toastmaster International too, if the area director shares it with the district, shares it with them. So it's a formal document and sign it properly over here. And this is about talking about the Distinguished Club Program, what I've already said. So this is basically with respect to the Club Success Plan and the Distinguished Club Success Plan. I'll again go through show you the tracker. I'll be sharing this tracker and it will become very easy for you in terms of tracking your goals, right? So now I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll now open the floor to question and answers. But before that, I would like to say that although this document looks a bit exhaustive, it is for the club itself. Because, for example, I'll give you a situation. Now you are in the start of the term in January. In mid-January, let's say a worst case scenario, the president drops off and a new president comes in, right? So you'll always have this document ready wherein the president can go through in terms of what the club achieved over the year, what are the problems that the club had, and how will the club move ahead and solve those problems. So it becomes more of a document which any executive committee member can go through, or even the club members can go through in terms of helping the club achieve better, right? Now I'll open the floor to question and answers. And if you have any questions, you can please ask me. Has anyone, filled in the Club Success Plan already? Okay, I think, all right. Okay, Priya has already filled in the Club Success Plan. Great. Priya, would you like to just share some of the learnings and challenges that you faced in filling the Club Success Plan?
Ankit, the list of the Club Success Plan is extremely exhaustive. So, and everybody, I mean, some people who have joined the ExCom right now in my club are very new members. That means they've just joined, and I had to do most of it myself. Right. Now, I was definitely, there are a lot of things which I have left open because I didn't have immediate answers to that. I felt that when all of us get a little, warmed up, maybe after a month or so, we'll have a better understanding. But yes, some portions are done and some portions are yet to be done.
Correct.
Just about a few blanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Priya, for sharing that. And yes, I agree. It might be a challenge if the executive committee is new. It might be a challenge in terms of for them to fill this up. What can help out over here is that I'll also be sharing a template in terms of Club Success Plan, which is already filled by a club. So although it's a template, it might help the executive committee members in terms of understanding what has to be filled. But please ensure you don't copy paste that. It's just for your own understanding in terms of understanding how that club faced the issues and what can help you in terms of working it out. But as I told you, if you are able to fill the DCP tracker, it becomes easy for you. And it's not required that you have to fill in everything. For example, if your club is not having any obstacles, you don't have to create an obstacle just to fill in the Club Success Plan, right? So fill it up in a proper way. But if you're not able to do it, always, again, as I said, you're not alone. You have your area director and others who can help you in terms of, or your immediate past president, that would be the best person, who can help you in terms of filling that club success plan, even if the executive committee member is not able to do it. And specifically the president, as Priya said that she filled in most of it. Priya, what I would say is, although the club is new, have this kind of a session with them on at the start of your term, as your term has already started. Just have a session in terms of where the club is doing, what the club is doing, what is the goals in terms of for each of the executive committee members. If they understand their goals, they'll be able to at least fill some part of the club success plan in a better way. Right? Great. Thanks. Yes, Sudha, please go ahead.
Thanks, Ankit. My question is, do you recommend that the success plan is filled up individually and then collaborated together, or the president sits and discusses it and they all do it together? Because I found my previous exercise, we all tried to do it individually, but when it came together, there were so many variations and people were in different tangents. So to get together again and do it, then again, it's a waste. I mean, a lot of waste of time and energy. So what has your experience been?
Right. Thanks, Sudha, for sharing this. So how I look at it is that how I go about is, first, as an executive committee member, we fill that DCP tracker, right? So that helps us in terms of understanding if we are on the right page, or everyone will be having the DCP tracker. Why I tell that an executive committee, that particular page is for that particular person, is that it will make that person responsible for that particular goal. Although it's always recommended that all of you sit together and make it, but as you know that it's a exhaustive document wherein for you as a whole to sit and work on it, it might become a bit of a, it might take a long time. Another way that you can go about is that maybe have maybe a 1 hour call every alternate day just to fill up the club success plan. And in that 1 hour session, all of you sit together, let the person who is responsible for that goal talk more on that goal, but all of you are there around and just help in terms of suggesting or doing something better, so that you complete it in parts rather than sitting on a whole and doing it on a, like, completing together at one aspect. It's better that you complete it in parts. As I told you, these are the different parts in which it is divided. So it's better that maybe if you're talking about the president's role, the IPB president can work on it, but all of you be there. Then the next meeting, work on the VP goals, the education goals. The next meeting, work on the membership goals, so that maybe by the end of the a month's time, you're able to complete the whole document, or even before that, or in a week's time, you're able to complete the whole document. So that is a good way wherein you can have all your executive committee members there, but the person responsible will be able to give more inputs, should be able to give more inputs, because that's their area that they are in. Obviously, people are there to advise, but it's advisable that they do it on their own. Does that answer your question, Sudha? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Monish.
Yeah, hi, Ankit. As we were discussing that there is a club success plan already created in previous term, and this is like for a whole one Toastmaster year we make a plan. So what is the recommendation for just incoming guys now? Like, you already have a plan, we need to rethink about it, revisit it, create it from scratch, just go ahead with the plan and see how it was. What is your thought on that?
Thanks Monish for this question. So what my recommendation would be, again, as it would have been created beforehand itself, you might be first go to your DCP tracker if you didn't have it. But let's talk about the next year. If you have already created a DCP tracker, first go to the DCP tracker, because that will have this list of 4 people or 5 people who would want to, who you had looked at for completing that particular goal, right? And now you will come in wherein you will identify whether those 4 people are still going ahead with their goal or not. If not, you will have to add in people, or you'll have to delete people, so that you as a whole edit that document. Don't start it from scratch, because if you've already done it, it was created with time and energy, right? So it's better that you come and edit it, or you update it with respect to that particular goal that you're looking at. So specific, wherein I feel that there would be edits would be mostly with respect to education goals, because you would have thought some people who would be doing it, but now they are not. So you'll have to identify more people in that. And another would be the membership goal, because as I told you, renewal is very important. Yeah, over here, I would just like to give my own input in terms of experience. If you're feeling as a club that your renewals is a challenge, you're not able to achieve 20 members, this is the time where you start your membership campaign. Just do not rely on your renewals. Just remember that people who join now, if you make them renew till September, rather than making them renew till March, make them renew till September, at least those people will help you in your renewals in the next term, right? So you don't have to just go behind your current members for getting them renewed, but you can also have a membership campaign wherein you add in new members and make them renew till September, or make them pay their fees till September, so that you have your renewal sorted, right? So that is with respect to more about membership and education, wherein you need to edit or update your list. And as a president or an executive committee members always talk about challenges, because this document is more whether it's not about a tick mark, whether we will achieve this or not. It's about what if we don't achieve. Although we would want to do that, what if we don't achieve? What is the solution for that? And that is where, if you're not able to find a solution, your area director will be able to help you.
Thanks, Ankit.
Thanks.
I see June has raised his hand again.
Yeah, June.
Yeah, I just want to ask that the membership part, like the renewal one, how many members should be renewed and all. Can you repeat the numbers and all? I'm still confused in that.
Sure. So for a club to be eligible for a distinguished club program goal, then are you okay with the distinguished club program goal? Did you understand that?
Yeah, I understood that.
Right. So if a club wants to take part in the distinguished club program goal, then the club should have so there's a qualifying criteria. The club should have at least 20 members in the club in post the renewals. So by the end of the year. So if it has to be by the end of the year, that means it has to be in the next renewal cycle, right? From April onwards, because members normally would have renewed till March. You'll have to again renew from April onwards, right? So April, that's the reason April cycle or the April renewals is very important. So the club should have a minimum of 20 members in the club by the end of the year. Or if your club had started with less than 20 members, if your club had started with a base of 15 or something but at the start of the year, then plus 5 is where you have to look at. For example, if your club had started with 12 members, then you don't have to reach 20 members base. You just have to reach 12 plus 5. That is 17 members to be eligible for this. But if your club had started with more than 20 members, then yes, 20 members is the base.
Okay, so like if the members are less than 20, so it should be like the next year, the 5 members should be renewed.
If your club had started, so you started Toastmasters year in July 2020 of that year, right? Of the previous year. So when you started your club, so there's a base membership. I'll just quickly again show it. I have already shared the link for the dashboard on chat, but this is again the dashboard. So if you just go to any of the club, I'm just going to the club. So you can just go to your dashboard and search for your club, and you can click on your club to see what was the base of your club. So this is the base. That means the membership with which the club started the year. So if that's what I told you, if a club had started with more than 20 members as a base, then the club has to achieve minimum of 20 members. But if a club had started with the base of 12 or 13, as in the start itself, it was 12 or 13 members when the club started the new year, then it has to be plus 5. Does that answer your question?
Yes, Ankit.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thanks. I think we are pressed for time. I'll take the other questions maybe post the session, but just for with respect to time, I would now like to hand it over back to the Master of Ceremonies. Post which, if you want to if you have any further questions, you can have it post the session too. But I would like to now hand it over to the Master of Ceremonies, Sudha. Over to you, Sudha.
Thank you so much, Ankit. Let's all put our hands together and thank Ankit for such a enriching and detailed session on a topic which generally just kind of is drawn into, and you don't know the clarity when you're going through it. I think there's a lot of clarity now, personally for me, and we are definitely depending upon the spreadsheet to come through. Don't reinvent the wheel, edit it and make it more personal. We are looking forward for that, and your sample club success plan as well. So friends, as they say that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. And if everyone is moving together, then success just takes care of itself. So this is just a proof of the fact that we need to do our club success plan efficiently. And with that, and let me hand over the stage to our division director, Monish Dukhande, to do the felicitation of today's and also close the event for us. Thank you once again, everyone, for being present for the Scintillating Saturday again. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudha. And thank you, Ankit, for that wonderful session. I think this was enlightening us towards completing the club success plan and ensuring that our club succeed as we move ahead in our journey. Zoom Master, can we quickly have the certificates for the role players? Thank you, Ankit. Can we spotlight Ankit and have a quick snap? Zoom Master, taking your time out.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you, Monish, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Ankit. That's good. We can move to next if snap has been taken. Yes, the man behind the screen, the Zoom Master himself, Toastmaster Akshay. Okay. Can you come on spotlight, please? Okay, we have Tutu Akshay. This time we have Akshay Jain. Okay, can we move ahead, please? And we have Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Sudha. Thank you. With that, I officially close the meeting. Feel free to drop off. As Ankit said, he's still available. If you have any doubts, we can stay back for 5 minutes, probably, if you have any doubts. Otherwise, feel free to drop off.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Ankit, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So this exercise, when we